Yo, what is up, YouTube? It's your boy Legend, and I'm back with another video. Now, I know you guys was not expecting me to come back with another video this soon. I was probably expecting another 2 weeks. Nah, bro. Like I said, we getting back to this YouTube. We're getting back to the fam. Now, we bringing back a series that y'all thought that I probably canceled, but we bringing it back. What if Naruto was sent to the Akame got killed universe? Part 3. If you guys like the video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe while you at it, turn on post notifications, hit that bell icon, and without further ado, let's get into this intro so we can start this what if.
And now, this world shall know pain. Almighty. Push.
Najinda was honestly baffled and confused. What exactly do you mean? Akame once again told the entire story of how great and skilled Naruto was. So, let me get this straight. This mystery guy, he is able to heal people, create solid clones of himself. His stealth and assassination technique are greater than yours, and he might have an even greater power locked inside of him. And you're saying he may not have an Imperial Arms? Akame nodded, and mine chipped in as well. Yeah, it's the same guy that I told you about that tamed an armored water viper. Najinda rubbed her forehead and sighed. She wasn't sure what she was supposed to do with all of this information. And you said that he healed those two over there and killed off a virus just by touching him with a strange energy? Akame nodded once again. Najinda looked over at Seiyo and Ieyasu, who were currently stretched out on a carpet asleep. She then looked over at Tatsumi. And you said this one killed the girl. Once again, Akame nodded. Najinda sat back in her chair and closed her eyes. And you said you all tried to recruit him? Leone chimed in this time. Yeah, we almost got him to join when we offered him cheaper rent. Najinda opened her eyes. Go find him and try again. He's interested in money, and if his skills are as good as Akame says they are, then we could send him on the more dangerous missions and pay him accordingly. Akame, go and get 4 rooms ready. Meanwhile, Naruto entered a bar and sat down on a stool with a sigh. He was tired from using Sage Mode and healing 2 wounded people who had been tortured almost to death. All he wanted right now was to just rest for a bit, get some water and some food. After that, he would go and visit his pet water monster that he tamed when he first got to the city. Maybe he would take another odd job as well, but one thing that he was for sure going to do was find a place to stay. Naruto grabbed the wrist of a man walking by. Excuse me, sir. Where can I find a hotel around here? The man told Naruto the location, and off Naruto went to the hotel. Upon arriving, Naruto walked up to the receptionist and paid for his room. And with the receptionist trying to make just a little bit more extra money, he offered Naruto some room service, offering to run up some leftover venom fish and earth dragon steaks up to his room with his choice of a drink. Naruto obviously accepted since he was hungry and now had the funds for such a meal. When he finished with the food, He was honestly surprised by how good it was. It was one thing that he knew he could now eat. Naruto let out a sigh. He stood and then walked to the bathroom, stripping off his clothes with each step. Once he was undressed, he stepped into the shower and turned on the water to wash himself. Off in the distance, Leone and Shell ran through the streets. They were in the middle of tracking Naruto, and at the current moment they had just arrived at a bar. When they entered, the two of them looked around, but they couldn't spot him at all. "Yeah, I don't think our blonde stud is here." A bartender called the two of them over, trying to offer them some drinks, but Leone and Shell were actually busy at the moment, so they had no time for drinks. So they tried to get some type of information out of the bartender. "Yo, buddy, I have a question for you." Leone then leaned over the bar table, her ample bosom threatening to spill out of her shirt, as the bartender found the sight extremely distracting and arousing. And as expected, he gave Leone his full, undivided attention. "So, I was wondering if you've seen a guy come by here. He should be around my age. He has blonde hair and blue eyes. He's also fairly tall." The bartender nodded. Yes. Yes. He frequently comes here to this place. Hardly does he ever buy anything, but he mainly sits in the back and waits for people to approach him with odd jobs. He just recently left here, however. He was asking about a nearby hotel or something. He looked exhausted and ready to get some rest when he took his leave. Leone and Shell looked at each other before they turned and exited the bar. They knew where the hotel was. It was the only one that was close to this particular bar. The two of them made their way to said hotel. This time, not in so much of a hurry, since they knew Naruto's location. They arrived at the hotel Naruto was supposed to be at, and they debated if they should just ask the receptionist for his room number or just find it themselves. In the end, they chose to find his room themselves. It didn't take them long. When they finally did track down what room he was in, they entered his room through the window as they heard the shower running. Both girls stopped in their tracks, and then they heard the water turn off as the two girls looked at each other. Naruto then stepped out of the shower and out of the bathroom, completely naked, not addressing the two females that were staring at his body in a trance. He walked up to his bed, grabbed a scroll as he forced some chakra into it, as a pair of boxers popped out of it. He then walked back into the bathroom and slipped his underwear on, and then brushed his teeth as he once more exited the bathroom. Naruto pulled back the blankets of the bed and laid down as he pulled the blankets over him before finally addressing the two females that were in his room. "So, what do the two of you want? And why are you in my hotel room?" Leone was the first to speak, as she tried and failed to shake the blush off of her face. "Oh, our boss thinks you should reconsider and join our organization." Naruto let out a yawn as he adjusted his position in the bed. "Why would I reconsider? As far as I know, your group would be the only one profiting off of me joining you all. I'd be getting nothing in return." Shell finally was able to speak as she stepped forward. "That's not true. You would have a place where you can rest your head permanently, and you won't have to pay through money. We would also pay you if you worked with us on missions or provided support from the base. You also wouldn't have to worry about where your next meal would be coming from, And if you chose to work with us, you wouldn't have to wait for strangers to come to you with odd jobs. Naruto said nothing for a while. The silence was loud. It was getting to the point where they thought that Naruto had fallen asleep, but he finally spoke. You lot are very persistent, but I can't give you an answer at the moment. I'm tired and in need of rest, and I don't feel like using a lot of brain power at the moment. Give me until tomorrow at noon to think this over, and then you lot can come back and get my answer. Deal? Leone and Shell both looked at each other and nodded. Alright, we'll wait until tomorrow at noon to get your answer. Leone and Shell then left Naruto's room and let him get his much needed sleep. Once the two finally left Naruto, Naruto was fast asleep within seconds. Leone and Shell, well, those two had something to tell the team and gossip about. When they snuck into the blonde's room, they did not expect to get an eye full of male genitals. Once both women got out of the hotel, they began to run through the streets while making sure they weren't being followed while going back to their night raid base. Upon arriving back to their base, Leone greeted everyone with a loud and drawn out hello as she took her seat at the dining room table. Leone was greeted back, and Najina, Bulat, Akame, and mine all sat down at the table with her. Leone had a wide smile on her face as she looked at everyone who sat with her. Well, what did he say? Better yet, why didn't you and Shell bring him back with you? Najida could only speculate that this person that they all spoke of chose not to join them, but she wanted to hear them tell her that so she knew what it would be confirmed. The smile on Leone's face fell a little, but remained. Well, he didn't say yes, but he also didn't say no. When me and Shell entered his hotel room, he was just getting out of the shower and getting into bed. Me and Shell tried to persuade him into joining, but he was too tired to actually think. So, he told us to come back tomorrow at noon. But as to what we saw when he was getting in bed, it was a nice piece of man meat. And when I mean nice, I mean 7 inches with a nice girth to it. And he was not shy to show it off either. He didn't even care that we snuck into his room. He acted as though we weren't even there. And believe me, it took a lot out of me to not jump on him and ravage the soul out of a piece of meat like that. This immediately caught Bulat's interest as he asked, which way did it curve? Leone smiled. That's a question you'll have to ask him. Najida and mine both had a blush on their faces, and Najida cleared her throat before speaking. Enough about the penis of this man. We don't need to know that he's a shower. We don't need to know which way it curves. As Najida said all this, her blush grew deeper and more red. Oh, don't worry, boss. He's also quite the looker, if that makes a difference to you all. Leone then started to laugh at how her comment made Najida blush even more than she already was. Najida slapped the table with a tick mark forming on her forehead as she grit her teeth. Blush still prominent on her face. Enough with the physical aesthetics of this man. I don't care how handsome he is or how big his penis is. Tomorrow at noon, we will all see him tomorrow to get his answer. Now quit speaking of this young man in such a vulgar way. Najida stood and walked away, going to get ready for bed. Akame was the second to stand. In my opinion, I don't see the point of you releasing that type of personal information about someone we plan to recruit. In all honesty, it was a waste of breath. Akame then walked away, as she too went to her room and began to get ready for bed. Bulat also stood. Well, at least I know that he's good eye candy. I'll let my imagination do the rest of the work. Bulat then walked away with a blush on his face. Mine stood up, a blush on her face, and she ran to her room. Leone sighed. Well, if I'm the only female here that's interested, then it makes things a lot easier. Leone then went to her room, as she too got ready for bed. The next day, Najinda was getting the majority of Night Raid ready for their meetup with Naruto. They chose to leave Shell behind to look over Tatsumi, Ieso, and Seiya. Shell would try to get the three of them to join the group, but the rest wouldn't expect her to be able to do much. The only thing she was really good at was killing. The rest of the group moved separately through the rooftops and through the streets, arriving at the hotel where Naruto was staying at. Naruto was already dressed when he felt the presence of all the assassins outside of his hotel coming in. And they call themselves assassins? Naruto opened his window and his hotel room door as he went and laid back down on his bed. Akame, Najida, and Bulat all came in through the window. Mine, Leone, and Lubbock all came in through the door. Can one of you close the door, please and thank you? Mine kicked the door closed and put her attention back onto the blonde in bed. Naruto scanned the room and sat up. You're missing one. Where's the cute girl with the purple hair? Everyone just looked at each other. They were mainly surprised that he noticed the number of people that they had came with was off by one, and he noticed this instantly. Shell is still at the hideout, tending to the people that you helped while we were on mission. Naruto nodded and lay back down. So, what's it gonna be? Naruto looked at Najinda. What's what gonna be? Najinda rubbed her temples before looking back at the blonde. Will you be joining Night Raid or not? Naruto stood up and let out a sigh as he looked out the window. You know, before you all even got here, did you know that I can sense you all before actually seeing you? Akame was the first to answer. That's impossible. We all had our auras hidden. Naruto looked at her. Your point is what exactly? I don't need your aura to sense you. You still have a smell. You still have a sound when you walk. And you still unknowingly walked into my barrier. Why do you think the windows and doors were open for you to just walk right in? Everyone looked at the window and the door that they came through. You, with the metal arm. I take it you're the leader? Najinda nodded. So, tell me this. If I do decide to join you all, you're going to have me doing the more dangerous missions for you, right? Najinda swallowed hard. She was unaware that the man that they were trying to recruit was capable and smart. That was exactly what she was planning. Going off of your silence, I take it that I hit the nail right on the head. I know some of you told your leader of just the small amounts of my abilities that I can do. But here's where I'm gonna need an answer, and I don't care who this answer comes from. Obviously, I'm gonna have my own conditions. But what's in it for me? Najinda cleared her throat. Well, for one, with each mission and however else you contribute, you will get paid for it a reasonable amount. Living with us You won't have to pay for any room and board. You would also have the entire group of Night Raid backing you as long as you don't do anything stupid like leaking our identities. And we won't use you as if you're some toy soldier that needs no rest. After each mission, you'll be able to take a break up to 4 days long before going out again, if needed. Naruto nodded. It didn't seem like such a bad deal. Okay, as long as I get free roam and can stay wherever I please while taking orders from you, and you only, I'll join. Najida instantly took that deal. He would only take orders from her, and he would be able to stay wherever he pleased. It wasn't a bad deal. Not a bad deal at all. Naruto, I think you have yourself a deal. But guys, I'm going to end it off right there. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe while you're at it, hit that notification bell, that way you get notified whenever I post. But without further ado, I'm out, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.